Leo, you love with pride. When you give your heart, you give it boldly. You show up, you protect, you stay loyal. And when you feel disrespected, it cuts deep. In karmic cycles, your strength can turn into overproving. You try harder, you shine brighter, you give more. Not because you are weak, but because you believe loyalty should win. If you are here, something inside you is tired of performing for love. You are no longer trying to earn what should be natural. Hi, Myra. These are the signs you are completing a karmic cycle. Let us begin. The first card is Awareness of Pride Patterns. Leo, this card shows you are recognizing where pride kept you stuck. Not ego in a negative way, but pride in proving you could handle it. You may have stayed in situations longer just to show you were strong enough. You did not want to be the one who quit. You did not want to look defeated. Now you see that endurance is not always growth. Sometimes walking away is stronger than staying. You are noticing where you tolerated half effort because you believed your loyalty would eventually be recognized. In daily life, this looks like no longer fighting to prove your worth. If someone cannot see your value, you do not perform harder. You step back. When pride shifts into self-respect, the karmic lesson begins closing. The second card is Emotional Maturity over Drama. Leo energy can be intense. When you feel hurt, you feel it fully. When you feel ignored, it hits your pride deeply. In karmic cycles, you may have reacted strongly to regain control. Arguments, silent treatment, dramatic exits. Now you are calmer. You are not reacting just to get attention. You are not escalating to feel powerful. You understand that attention forced is not love earned. In practical life, this means fewer emotional performances, less posting to get reactions, less indirect communication. When your emotional response becomes grounded instead of dramatic, the karmic grip weakens. The third card is Boundaries Without Performance. Leo often sets boundaries loudly, but this card shows quiet strength. You are not announcing your limits for applause. You are not threatening to leave repeatedly. You simply reduce access when you feel disrespected. You quietly remove yourself from situations that drain your energy. This is powerful because it shows internal security. You do not need to prove your boundary. You enforce it calmly. In daily life, this looks like not engaging when someone tries to provoke you, not responding to low-effort messages, not reopening conversations that exhausted you before. When boundaries are quiet and consistent, the karmic cycle loses fuel. The fourth card is Release of Validation Seeking. This is deep for Leo. In karmic patterns, you may have stayed where appreciation was inconsistent. You kept hoping for recognition, for praise, for acknowledgement of your loyalty. Now you are no longer waiting to be validated by someone who withholds it. You understand your value without needing them to confirm it. You stop doing extra just to receive basic appreciation. You stop overgiving to earn affection. In daily life, this means you no longer chase compliments. You no longer adjust yourself to be more likable. When validation comes from within instead of from them, the karmic contract weakens. The fifth card is Self-Respect over Ego Battles. Leo, in karmic cycles, there can be silent power struggles. Who apologizes first? Who cares more? Who gives in? Your pride does not like losing emotional ground. Before, you may have stayed in situations just to win, to prove you were not the weak one, to show you could detach faster. Now, you are no longer interested in ego battles. You are not trying to outshine someone who withholds effort. You are not trying to dominate the emotional dynamic. You understand that real power is walking away from games entirely. In daily life, this looks like not responding to provocation, not engaging when someone tries to make you jealous, not competing for attention. When you stop feeding ego conflicts, the karmic attachment collapses. The sixth card is Closure Without a Grand Finale. Leo energy often likes strong endings. Clear statements. Final words. A dramatic close that makes a statement. But this card shows maturity. You are not waiting for a big scene anymore. You understand that some endings are quiet, some people fade instead of confront, and you are not chasing a final performance to feel complete. You are allowing the chapter to close without needing applause. In practical life, this means you do not send long final messages explaining your worth. You do not block and unblock to create impact. You simply move on. When you can close a chapter without drama, the karmic story ends. The seventh card is loss of attraction to unstable attention. This is major for Leo. You enjoy admiration, but in karmic cycles, you may have accepted attention that was inconsistent, intense one day, distant the next. That push and pull may have kept you engaged longer than it should have. Now you are no longer impressed by temporary attention. If someone only shows up when convenient, you lose interest. You want steady admiration. Respect that does not disappear when it is challenged. In daily life, this means you do not respond quickly to someone who resurfaces after disappearing. You observe consistency over time instead of reacting to sudden passion. When unstable attention stops feeling flattering, the karmic magnet breaks. The eighth card is alignment with true appreciation. Leo, when a karmic cycle ends, you attract people who genuinely see you. This card shows a shift in the type of connections entering your life. People who respect your loyalty. People who acknowledge your effort without you having to prove it. You are no longer performing for love. You are being appreciated for who you are naturally. In practical life, this looks like smoother interactions, mutual effort, clear admiration, no guessing where you stand. Your light is not dimmed. It is simply placed in healthier spaces. Leo, awareness of pride patterns, emotional maturity, quiet boundaries, release of validation seeking, self-respect over ego battles, calm closure, loss of unstable attention attraction, alignment with true appreciation. These are strong signs the karmic cycle is ending. If this resonated deeply, like and share so others who are breaking emotional pride cycles can receive this message. If you want a personal reading to see who truly values you next, you can book a private session. Your affirmation: I do not chase recognition. I know my worth. I release ego battles. I align with steady respect and love. The cycle is complete, and your strength is now grounded, not reactive.